Hi, I'm Christina Balit and I'm the author-illustrator of a book called Escape from Pompeii, which was written quite a while ago, and I'm delighted that it's been included and is enjoyed very much by the Literacy Tree bookshelf, because the reason I wrote this book was because I was so fascinated by what happened in Pompeii, the volcano itself and the repercussions of that, and the way that we now, many years later, have evidence of this extraordinary Roman city that we wouldn't have had if this terrible disaster had occurred. But my interest in this book was actually writing a story that involved two small children who would have lived and had to cope with that event and hopefully survive and escape, hence, a sort of happy ending. But the great thing about, for me, this book was that it got used in so many schools because they were studying the Romans and they were studying volcanoes, and in a way it sort of ticked those two boxes. And over many years, children have been using it as a source, which has been a total joy for me and has spurred me on to do other books that are also dealing with real historical events, but also telling them from a child's point of view, if you like. Another one that came out last year was The Corinthian Girl, which was all about a young girl who takes part in the ancient Hurrian Games but begins her life as a slave, an abandoned baby. And I've got another one coming out this year, which I can't wait. This is my first sample copy, so I've only got this one copy, but it's all about a young lad who ends up playing a very important part in a play at the Globe Theatre under the auspices of William Shakespeare himself. That's all set in sort of 16th century London. But the reason I'm on here today is because I wanted to tell you who's an illustrator, a female illustrator that I've been so inspired by. And actually I'm going to have to tell you about two, because there are two very different illustrators that mean a great deal to me. The first one is the magnificent Jane Ray. She's stunning, and I have every single one of her books. I always buy one when I know one's come out. I actually had the great pleasure to meet Jane many a moon ago when I was still at the Royal College of Art, and she sort of wandered to my table where my artwork was being displayed. So as a result, we sort of know each other, but not really. But her work is remarkable because what she creates are these stunning, very free but beautiful watercolours. I sort of wanted to show you one. Wait, I'm going to show you a different one. Wait a minute, this is the one I want to show you. Look at that. This is from another one of her books. It's an absolute favourite of mine, The Stories of Creation. Look at that, this double page spread of this almost decorative solution to show how all the animals are in the Ark, Noah's Ark. But look how beautiful she sort of uses a combination of watercolour, textured pencils, gold. It's sort of very loose and very free, and yet so sort of ornamental at the same time. So Jane is one of my absolute top heroes, and I'm profoundly influenced by her, I have to say. But someone who's completely different to me, whose work, again, just utterly ravishing and magnificent, is an artist called Angela Barrett. And her books are a very different sort of flavour. They've all got a sort of fairy tale darkness to them. They deal with a subject and sort of looks at it in a very painterly way, where you really get the sense of either sadness or an ominous presence in some of her artwork. Look at this one. Look at that beautiful image there of Snow White when she approaches the cottage. I just think, her artwork is remarkable, remarkably complex and stunning. So yes, those are two of my favourites. I of course have many more, but that's all I can share with you. I like to work in this little room, by the way. This is my tiny little room that I work in. This is where I come to every single day. I'm just holding the camera around to show you an example of some of the artwork I'm presently making for a big book of animal stories for National Geographic, which I'm having a most wonderful time doing. And thank you, Literacy Tree. I stumble on that, Literacy Tree, every time I say it, but thank you for including me.